Canvas modules is the way that we organize our Canvas courses. If you're not careful, you can have many modules open for the students to see. You want to make sure, especially before you go on break or before the new semester or school year begins, that you have just the modules that you want the students to have access to available. Currently, if I look at modules, it looks like I have several open. Now, when I'm looking at it as a teacher, it's hard to see what the student can see. I can kind of make a mental, I can mentally figure out if it has a little circle with a line through it, that means the student's not seeing it, and the ones with the green checks is what the students are seeing. But a great feature with Canvas is you can view as a student. So you can look at the modules page as a student would see it. This is very helpful when you're trying to make sure that you have only certain modules open. So when I click View as a Student, it'll take it just a minute because I have several modules on this page. Now I see it like a student would see it. And as I scroll through, I can see all the modules that they can see. And as a teacher, I'm thinking, this is probably too many modules for them to be looking at once. It might get confusing for my students. So I can manage that. I'm going to leave the student view. And now I'm going to go through, and I think I'm going to just decide which ones I want them to see. So getting started is a good one to show them. And the Q&A, getting to know you, those are fine. But as I go through, I've got different topics. And I believe my first topic that I'm going to focus on with these teachers would be just Chromebooks. So I need to unpublish some of my modules. So over here next to Canvas, this is a module with many items in there about Canvas. I can come over here and I can say unpublished module in all items. When I do that, it's going to turn all my items off. Now, if I come through here, I want to leave Chromebooks up, but let's say I want to unpublish each of the different modules down here. We're not getting into Google until later, so we'll unpublish that. Technology information for now, we'll unpublish that. So I'm just going to go through and unpublish these different modules, so that my students will only see what I need them to see for now. It'll keep them from getting off task, going to other things that I'm not ready for them to get into. That one's already unpublished. Let's see, I got a few more to do here. And then once we get all these unpublished, we can go back as the student and look at the page again to see if it is cleaned up. One more. We'll unpublish this one. All right, so I've gotten all of the modules unpublished that I do not want them to see. I left just a couple up, so let's see what it looks like now. All right, so I said I wanted to leave the Getting Started available for the students to see, so that looks good, the Q&A. And then what I'm focusing on with them this week, which is Chromebooks. And so it looks like all my links for my Chromebooks are there available to them. I can click on them and check and make sure that they work. And so now I'm not going to have so many modules open and available for them to scroll through and get lost. And that just keeps it a lot more cleaner for them. What I've seen teachers do is they've created module per week. So they've created a module and just put everything for that week in that module. And then when they're finished with that module, they'll either move it down, because you can move these modules. So they might move it after the current module, or they may turn it off if they don't need their students to get back to it. It's best practice to have the current module that you want them working on at the top. You don't want them to have to come in and, let's say you've been in school for 9 weeks and you've got your modules ordered in a way that the first week is on top. Then they have to scroll through the 9 weeks to get to the module they need to get to. That just makes it a little more cumbersome. So if you are going to leave modules open after you've done them so that they can go back to previous week work, then you would want to put them in the order of the most recent on top and then counting backwards. That makes it much easier. Otherwise, if you don't need them to go back to past weeks, then you can just have the current week open for them. And then when you're done with that week, you can hide that module and open the next week's module.